fun one today. Stryker Visum Blade LED. No wall control. There's an old wall control over there from the old Infinity. Never got taken out. This is strictly the controls right here. You're not seeing this guy. Sits on here. And the way this works is how it turns it on and off. It's not hitting a contact. Very simple connection, no connection. This one's actually an optocoupler. See these two little guys right here? These guys. So this is kind of like an SpO2 sensor. You got an IR sender and an IR receiver. And then this plate, when it moves between the two, for going up, for light intensifying and light decreasing, you'll get one IR sensor will be able to send a signal through the hole, and the other one's blocked. There's a copper spring, you see that down there, to help push it back to center when it works. There we go. See how it moves out and puts it back? They're not very good. This one doesn't even move. And this is working light. It's crazy. We've got, this is not a regular pin and socket. There's actually 5 pins, even though they're, little blades. Blade. Okay, anyway, so each one of these connects into a socket on that end, and that's how it transmits the power. There's a data option, which is what this cable is for, so you can have a camera sitting here. This customer did not want the camera, so we did not purchase that for them. Here's the light up top. Disassembly is pretty easy. You can either take the arm down, which is removing these two covers. Let's sit right there. And then you have access to this stainless steel ring you see right there. One screw removes that and lets you spin it so you can get access to the head locking key, or shim, as I'm calling it. And that's what holds this light head up there. As you see, very simple design. Couldn't be simpler. This just sits in a groove on the arm and prevents this from going back and forth. These are brake screws. This is how it gets tension, so it doesn't just spin around. These are a bit worn, as you can see. Can you see? There we go. So they just sit there, and over time, some friction. I had some idiot decide to add grease to this kind of shit. Like, I understand the idea of a dielectric grease because you thought that's conductive, but it's not. It needs friction to stay in place, so adding grease is just stupid. Lubrication defeats the whole purpose of friction, and this requires friction to stay in place. So we don't add grease to brake screws. If you're adding grease to brake screws, go find a new job. McDonald's is hiring. You're really not qualified for this. What else we got down here? Just shits and giggles. You got a bunch of transistors. You got some caps. There's a little removable fuse. Good shit. Now reassembling. So we just put the control thing back in here. This light doesn't really work, so not worried about it. Garbage. Bad opto senses. Alright, the rest of it. Next up would be the lens. Now I can either put these screws in or just continue building this out. We now have enough weight to hold it in place. It is keyed, but it's a perfect triangle so they can go anywhere. Obviously, the whole video is backwards, but so disassembly. So here's your light. There it is on the arm. Pull those two covers off. See these here? Number 1 Phillips. Pull these two off, and then that reveals that silver ring right there, which is blocking a little shim or key. That's just this screw right here, which is a, I can't see a number on there, it's a 3mm anyway. 3mm Allen key, pull that off. This ring will spin and give you access to the keyway. You can pull that out. So you have to take out these brake screws, order if you want to pull the keyway or you want to pull the brake screws, doesn't matter, it's up to you. But pull those out, and that is a 5/32. I don't know why my 3mm in this kit, whatever. So these are 5/32, that's about 3mm, those are #1 Phillips. Pull the keyway out, pull the brake screws out, and then you want to try to have this thing level. You've got two things to deal with. You gotta be able to pull upwards on this to try to make this go straight, because if it's at an angle, it's not going to want to come out. So you have to be able to straighten that and prevent your arm, your spring arm, from flying upward to get it out. So I personally like to stand up on a table or something, put this on my shoulder, one hand on the spring arm, the other hand over here, and kind of jiggle the whole thing to slide it out. It comes out super easy. If for some reason it's not, and you've already removed these and there's nothing else, you can kind of bang this a bit and it should come out. Yeah, all right, once the light head is down, it's much easier to work on. Also, if you're taking off covers and things, the way this thing is built, it's just enough weight to be able to hold it in place. But when you start pulling off covers and things, it's too light and the spring arm tension is not going to pull it back up. So it's best to work on it right here. Now that it's down, pull this off, these screws right here, 3 of them, that assembly out of your way. All right, and then I cover the rest of this in the other video. I'm pulling this off, all these little screws here, screws down here, get this lens off. What I'm doing today is a little different because I have to pull this board out. The main board that's in the middle, which is this guy. So all these LED lenses got to come out too.